Good morning. This is Debra B. Wilson. I am in Bradford. The time is 1100 hours and 6 minutes, and that's GMT. It's Wednesday, and the date is the 2nd of December, 2020. This podcast will be for my announcements section. It's in quotes relatively old news, but I still like to keep track announcements as they relate to the national security model in the United Kingdom. This is a press release from the Metropolitan Police. The date it was released was the 25th of November 2020, and the time it was released was 1700 hours and 16 minutes, and that's GMT as well. So I'll read it. And I'll also include the link to the announcement. Funding of a London-based counterterrorism operations center. Statement following the government's announcement for funding of a new London-based counterterrorism operations center. Metropolitan Police Commissioner Cressida Dick said, quote, I am delighted that the government has confirmed it is committing funding for the creation of a new counterterrorism operations center. Following the dreadful attacks of 2017, I, along with the Director General of MI5, committed both our organizations to identify exactly where we could learn from those events and continually improve the way we work together to protect the public from the terrorist threat. The concept of bringing police closer together with our national security partner in a joint operations center came directly out of this learning. Since 2017, we have worked closely with the Mayor of London, our intelligence agency, and security partners in the government to turn the concept into a reality. The investment that policing, the mayor, and the government are all making will create a counterterrorism operations center that will assist significantly in keeping London and the United Kingdom safe. Unquote. Assistant Commissioner Neil Basu, head of counterterrorism policing, said, quote, the creation of a world-leading, fully integrated counterterrorism operations center is a genuinely historic milestone. Counterterrorism policing and our national security partners have always had a close and effective working relationship. But being co-located is an opportunity for us to take that one step further and will only improve our ability to protect the UK and its citizens. This has been a complex project we have all been working on delivering for some time and really demonstrates there are no party politics in protecting the public. I'd like to echo the Commissioner's words of thanks to the government and the Mayor of London, whose joint support in making the Counterterrorism Operations Center reality means the UK will be a safer place. Unquote. The development of the Counterterrorism Operations Center, CTOC, was born out of a series of terrorist attacks in 2017, which killed 36 people and caused injury and life-changing impacts to many others. The attacks and the subsequent operational improvement review, which was independently assured by Lord Anderson, highlighted the need to further develop our counterterrorism response to ensure it continues to adapt to an evolving threat. The need to further develop our capability has been emphasized by attacks here in the UK in the past year and recent attacks across Europe. The 27 successful disruptions since the 2017 terrorist attacks and the recent rise in terrorism threat level to severe, all in the context of a broadening threat environment environment and an increasingly challenging technical environment. Having a CTOC in London will enable co-location of the London-based elements of counterterrorism, CT policing, the intelligence agencies, and the criminal justice system, as well as other government agencies focused on tackling the threat from terrorism. An integrated partnership-driven approach with a purpose-built working environment. The CTOC will bring the right people, skills, and technology together to help strengthen our ability to protect the UK. It will help us install smarter working practices and cultures, rationalizing processes and structure, and boosting innovation with new forms of collaboration. The CTOC will be a new part of the overall UK CT response, bringing together for the first time all of the London-based CT elements in one place. The end of the post. I think it's fascinating that this is happening, and I think it's very interesting. I think it can only help, and if the pieces of the national security model are in close proximity working together, it will, I believe, offer the possibility of greater synergy for the model, and therefore create a greater bandwidth. Along the lines, I'm thinking along the lines of the sum being greater than its parts. It's very interesting. I think it's a very interesting development, and I look forward to learning more about this purposely built building. The other thing I'd like to mention is that at the beginning of the article, the news release, the Met Police Commissioner Cressida Dick talks about the sentence is, following the dreadful attacks of 2017, I, along with the Director General of MI5, committed both our organizations to identify exactly where we could learn from the events and continually improve the way we work together to protect the public from the terrorist threat. The concept of bringing police closer together with national security partners into a joint operations center came directly out of this learning. So the Director General she's talking about at that point, if the discussion was immediately after the attacks, would be Sir Andrew Parker. The new Director General of MI5, who started on 30th of March in this year, and I'm going to include that announcement, the announcement of his starting, actually would be the person that led the review, which I will include that information. So the current Director General of MI5, who is Ken McCallum, would be the person who, within MI5, who led the review for this existing building, and that was done under the auspice of the then director, Sir Andrew Parker. So I always like, it's the auditor, but I will include all of that information and a bit more background information on this, I think, very newsworthy and pivotal announcement in the United Kingdom's national security model. This is Debra V. Wilson. I am in Bradford. It is Wednesday, the 2nd of December, 2020, and the time is now 1100 hours and 15 minutes, and that's GMT. Thank you.